Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to a new little series that, as I said in the previous video, we looked at the 4-2-3-1 narrow, and I said to you guys, if you've seen that, we did ask whether you would like to see how to attack and how to defend of that specific formation as like a follow-up video. So today we're coming back with the 4-2-3-1 and we're going to be discussing how to attack and how to defend, the best key sort of patterns you need to look for and what's really important with the formation to make it successful. But without further ado, let's go into how to attack with this formation and what the keys are that you should be looking for. Now, for me personally, the biggest, most important position is this cam position. This central cam position, which in our formation is Neymar. You can see in this example here how critical Neymar is to this formation. Not Neymar, how critical this central cam is to this position. You can see he's able to link up with Alan, Petit, who are the two CDMs, and on this occasion he's able to link up really well with Lionel Messi, which is how the play develops. We end up passing it off to Messi and a really good give and go. And it's not just this example here, it's so many examples that you're going to see. You know, the central cam is critical to the way you play FIFA because he in this formation, because he links with everybody, and not just the way he links, the runs he makes. Now, we talked about yesterday, we used him on free roam, and that was super important because on free roam, he creates so much space, he makes so many runs, he gets into the box. This time around, linking with Mbappe, getting on the end of that, he makes so many runs, he links up with everybody again, this time running into that space. And finishing it really well. But it's just he links with everybody. He makes so many good runs in behind. That free roam is so important because it creates space for other players to move into that space. You can see Crespo there was able to turn Neymar getting on the end of that shot as well. A little bit of a cheesy goal, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is Neymar is getting on the end, and this time plays in Mbappe. And he just links with everybody. He's able to link with the CDMs, the wide cams, the strikers, and he just does such a good job. Now, going into a little bit more detail, now this is showing precisely how he creates space for other players. You can see that this time around Messi has been able to drift from the right hand side infield into that central cam spot that Neymar would be deputised in normally if we had him on just his balanced position and not on free roam. That sort of position is where Neymar would be. So you can see Neymar is making that run in behind. Crespo's going away, dragging a couple of defenders away. Messi's now able to drift inside into that space where Neymar normally would be. And now Neymar is free to make those runs in behind. And it's just something that really helps you score more goals. If you're someone that struggles to score goals in this formation, you know, using free roam like we talked about yesterday is super important. You can see Neymar eventually just finished that shot off as well, but it's so critical. You see another couple of good examples here in exactly the same position. Messi is in there. This time around, Crespo is able to find Neymar in the exact same position, making that run in behind, and then what a finish from Neymar. This central cam position has to be the best player in your team because all the work, all the attacks come through him. It's very rare that you'll score goals that don't involve him. It's very rare that you'll score a goal with, you know, the right cam to the striker or the left cam to the striker. The central cam, as you can see in all these examples, he is involved in everything. So it's important that your central cam is the most important and the best player in your team. You know, not a lot of people, for example, like to use that Ben Yedder. Again, this time around, we saw this yesterday. Neymar dragging away, creating space for Messi to run into, and that's why that free roam is important. A lot of people like to use that Ben Yedder, so if you want to use that as a central cam, but your best player in your team has to be your central cam because all the work comes through him. And again, Mbappe now running into that free space that Neymar has used. Just using free roam on that central cam is so important. And now another key way, but not as important, it's obviously using the width in this team. You can see Messi this time around has created separation. You know, obviously this guy's using balanced attack on his fullbacks. We'll be able to exploit that space with Messi. I don't really use this method too much, but it is something that you need to be aware of. And again, who's that in the middle? It's Neymar there to be able to finish off the attack. But using the width is really important. It's always good to have quick players out there because they do find space, especially against people that use balance on attack, and then he cuts it back for Crespo to score as well. So now we need to learn how to defend with this 4-2-3-1 formation. Now, using our tactics yesterday, obviously we have our back four in a really good position. You can see this time around, Lala is in a great position. The whole back four is in a really nice position. Ball comes over to Lala, and the fact that we have stay back while attacking on our fullbacks is super important. It's super important because if you have them on balance, they're just going to be darting forwards, and these sorts of runs in behind are going to be made so much easier for your opponents to attack. You see this time Carlos with Militao is there. So it's really important that you have your fullbacks on stay back while attacking to really be able to keep a solid foundation. And then moving forwards into the CDMs. Again, the CDMs are super critical. You know, you can see Blanc making a good interception. Petit getting involved. Again, Blanc this time around, you can see really tracking the run really well, and it's really important that your back four is on stay back while attacking. Before we get into the CDMs in a second, Blanc again getting involved, making some really good tackles, being aggressive when you need to be. Because you've got that back four and the 2 CDMs, you can really afford to be a little bit more aggressive in your defending. Now moving into the CDMs, and this is critical. This is what really makes or breaks. Having the back four on stay back while attacking is super important, but you have to have 2 CDMs that you really trust. We've got Alan and Petit, and as we talked about yesterday, using them on man mark is super important, because they're always able, you'll see in this example when we run it on, that Alan, by the time the guy receives the ball, he's straight on him and he's able to take the ball off his toes. It's really important you've got 2 CDMs that stay in position and really stay in front of that back four and really give you that protection, because then that's what allows you to be a little bit more aggressive in your defending. And as you've seen, we've been so clinical up front with our front four. And you can see when we do move it on, obviously as we talked about, Alan is right on top there to make the interception, and it's just so important as well using man mark. But you have to have 2 CDMs that you really trust, and for me, you've got to have 2 out and out CDMs. Alan and Petit are both out and out CDMs. Petit this time around patrolling out on the wing, just stopping attacks. It's really important you have 2 CDMs that you really trust. A lot of people like to use that Footman Sissoko. I think you can't, players like Vidal and Nainggolan, for me personally, aren't the best at CDM because they do have some attacking qualities. You've got to have really 2 out and out CDMs. Patrick Vieira and SEN, those sorts of guys are so important. This is a really good example of how we turn defence into attack. Break up an attack there with Lala. The guy tries pressing us really hard. Blanc, great pass into Messi, and then this actually leads to a great counter attack. And this just shows in one clip, the solid back four in defence, 2 CDMs in front, and then we've got the clinical players up front to be able to. You don't need to have a massive amount of players if you have a good front four and a really solid, defence that you trust. You see this time around playing the ball really well between Alan, Petit, and Mbappe. Back to Alan, in there to Petit, and then again everything goes through Neymar. You can see eventually this move does end with Neymar getting in the box and scoring a goal. Again, Neymar, great pass into Crespo, great touch and turn, and then inside to Neymar to finish it off. And that just shows in that clip there how you can link everything together with a solid back four, 2 CDMs, really clinical players up front, and using that central cam is so crucial. But that is it for this detailed video. If you do want to see any more videos on how to use certain formations, we're going to go into loads of other formations, so do drop a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button as well if you are new to the channel. But that's all for today, guys. Have an awesome day. I'm out.